Hello, welcome to Reframing Mindset Podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day.
Okay, and so welcome back to Reframe Mindset Podcast. My name is Constantine Brooks. I know this episode came to me and it coordinates so well now that but basketball is really kind of coming back to where I'm at. It kind of coming back. They have like a new league now. You know, and one of my previous guests, my coach, is in the league. Yeah, doing this thing. doing this thing, man. Doing this thing. He's on the rise. On the rise. But this episode we're gonna talk about, one of my basketball shoes. Because if if you are listening to the podcast, I realize that my journey is mostly science based. So when I was actually dealing with sports now, to actually tell my family I'm doing sports, that was really not an easy thing, because as I said we were not really a rich family. So and to play a sports like in primary school you try to play sports or you try to like track and field and such like that and football and such. But that was just us playing. Um in high school now, if you're actually practicing to play basketball, you're playing actual games, you're traveling to different schools and such like that, and they can get injury and need actual right shoes and all those stuff. So, that was kind of a different thing. And, I was most of that person that actually go to school, go home, and things like that. A person that usually follows the rules and that. I never try to deviate outside of you know, what we're doing. So basically, when I actually joined the basketball team, because if you're known, it was a I either play pick up games and stuff like that until one the captain actually invited me to join the team, and then I officially accepted to join the team. But when I actually joined the team, and I already told my mother about it because I never really know what she would say. So basically, what I would just do, I basically um practice with them and said, okay, I'm just going to do it. But the reason why I'm telling you this was because the first game, the first away game that we had to actually have a permission slip, a permission slip. So we have to give our parents a permission slip so that they can sign to say they give us permission to leave the school to actually go to the other school to play the game. So when that happened, now I kind of got scared and be like, damn, bro, how am I going to actually get this done? You know, basically, I had to made up something, and she actually signed it, and I actually boom, and that's actually went to my first away game, and it was a tournament, and funny enough, I scored my first basket at the tournament. I scored 1 point, and funny coming home when I was because that was my first official time playing and playing with the team, and the team is like, yo, how many people were on the team way before me, and they haven't got 1 point, and I got 1 point. That basically was a funny thing. But back to the main topic now, the basketball shoes. So after a while now, when I actually got comfortable playing and such like that, and I guess one thing I have to mention before is that my mother really never really know about me playing basketball until I appeared in the paper. Like we started to win a lot, and then we started to get featured in Observer and such like or a national newspaper. So that's how she kind of found out. So after she found out now, one of my shoes actually start going bad. So and I go to my mother, I said, okay, I need to get a basketball shoes. No, I need to get a basketball shoes. They said, so I have to remember that we weren't really that rich, so not buying our shoes was something, especially a good basketball shoes, is not really something we could afford. But my mother said, you know what, she knows some place she can go and buy some shoes. So she went someplace and went and buy the shoes for like $2,500, and it was like so 2,500 Jamaican dollars. That's not a lot of money. Like in US, that would be like I think $20. So I guess it's a pretty significant amount of money. But compared to the what the actual basketball shoe that that was really a lot of money. But it was a lot of money to us, you know. So when I actually get the shoes bought and such, it was pretty cool. It was cool looking and nice and like yo. So carry it to school. Actually, I was practicing it, and I love the feeling, man. I love the feeling. It fits so nicely, and be like, damn, bro, we're ready to ball. And I started playing better and all these things. I went to a point that one of the one that joined with me the same year, asked me where did I get the shoes. I told the place that my mother actually went and get the shoes, and he said, "Okay, it's going to get one too." you know. So I was like, "Okay, yeah." So what happened now? The first game I played with the shoes, started playing and doing my thing. And at that time, I was on the bench and I really could play. I was relatively new still on the team and getting to know the teammates better and such like that. So I was doing my thing and such, and the game finished. When I went down and put on the shoes, I realized that the shoes bottom it it's burst. The bottom of it is burst. I'm like, oh damn, you know. But it was just the bottom. It wasn't really that bad. So I was like, okay. So I continued to practice it now. The next game now, the bottom of the shoes was gone. Like it break off. I'm like, what? What by the end of the game it actually tore off. I'm like, what? So it's like that's the shoes done. And I think what is that my mother is not going to buy another shoes again. Because she literally just bought the shoes. So I can't really change tell them to go back try to buy another shoes. So literally what I had to do was basically tape up the shoes, tape it up. I think I glued it up because yeah, glued. And when I actually glued it up, it actually lasts longer, lasts a while because I used crazy glue and it made it last longer. And that shoes actually lasted I think the rest of the season. It kind of was breaking down, but it lasted the rest of the season thanks to the crazy glue. But the funny thing was the fact that actually I told my friend that this was a good shoe to actually get because it was doing well before. yeah, I think he actually got one, and the same thing happened. same thing happened. Yeah, so basically that was the thing. The main essence of the thing was to kind of get it for that. But sports was not really one of my main agenda. It was mostly school. So when I actually started doing the basketball thing, it was a real change. Like literally, like uh, it was something that I some it, the family accepted me. I was happy that I was doing it, but I never the way was grown. I never knew that they would accept it. The way how they focus on schoolwork and such. So it was really one of those nerve wracking transition. And the next thing about it was that I never really know how to play basketball. it was my first time actually doing it. So that was under it was under wrecking change, man. And that shows it just one of the many experience of what was going on when I was playing basketball. hmm that's basically it for this episode. Mm, Yeah, thank you for listening. I look forward for the next episode.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
This episode is going to talk about new new things, new habits. Yeah, and and this episode came to me as I was trying to get back into the to one of my goals that I was doing to goal that I had from way back when, and I realized that the different lifestyle that this goal that would be taking, like it's literally different than what I was doing. What I was doing, I was pretty comfortable doing it. Not because I would just basically do the work and just be go back to chilling after I'm finished. But this goal requires me to be basically it's like a 9 to 5 lifestyle. You sit down in the cubicle and such like that. Even though it's not a real cubicle, but you know it's a whole different